Welcome, everyone. You can see on the screen, we are going to talk about immigration in Canada. We all know that Canada is one of the only countries on the planet Earth with a lot of pathways to go and become a permanent resident in that particular country. And I have made a lot of videos comparing US and Canada and giving a lot of credits to Canadian immigration and pathways and encouraging people, if they have the option to choose between the two countries, obviously by default you have to go to Canada. But the best way to do this is to bring someone who is in Canada, who has done a lot of videos, a lot of content, and I can say is the expert of immigration in Canada. No one else than our dear Joyce K. Ness, Canada. Welcome, Joyce.
Thank you, EBMSCHOLARS.
First and foremost, I would like to appreciate for what you have been doing, for a lot of content and a lot of live stream you have been doing, educating people about so many things about life in Canada and going there. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
And for those who do not they do not know, they can search Joyce K. Ness Canada. You have 3 channels or 4 channels which are all active. We'll talk about those. But we can start by yourself to introduce yourself and what do you do in Canada?
Okay. Hi, guys. My name is Joyce K. And I live in Canada. I am a nurse, registered nurse. I came from Kenya to Canada, and now I'm settled here in Canada. So I talk about Canada immigration. I give people pathways that are available for coming to Canada. And as I have always stated, Canada has got like more than 80 streams that you can use to immigrate to Canada. So you'll be lost for choice because the pathways for coming to Canada are so many, and most of them are going to finally grant you permanent resident, which is like the green card for the US. And then after that, you only need to stay here for 3 years, and then you can apply for citizenship. I always say that Canada immigration is actually the easiest in the world, and it is the one that has a systematic way of settling people, settling immigrants. And I've always stated that Canada is a beautiful country, is a good country to live, especially for families, because 1, there's no racism. Secondly, it is peaceful. It is full of immigrants. Everybody in Canada came from somewhere. So it's rare, it's very rare to find somebody with, with tints of racism. So you're welcome. Stay tuned. We are going to explore all options that you can use to immigrate to Canada.
Thank you so much, Joyce, for such lovely and wonderful introduction. And we'll go right away to start talking about the programs and ways someone can go to move to Canada. So when we talk about people to go to Canada, the biggest thing people hear a lot, and I don't know whether it's because of the name itself, they hear the word express entry.
Yeah.
Faster process. So can you take us through what, first of all, is this express entry? That's number 1. Number 2 is how can one person process through express entry? Can a person process this one? You must be in Canada or while you are outside of Canada?
Oh, that's a question. Yeah. Thank you so much, EBM. Actually, yeah, that's a very good question. And most people don't understand how Canada immigration operates. But I would tell you that Canada immigration is the easiest if you understand. So express entry is like the umbrella for all the other streams. Whichever stream you use, you will finally end up going through express entry. Whether you come as a visitor and you want to settle, whether you come as a student, whether you come through other pathways, finally you will settle under express entry. So express entry is managed by the federal government, which is the Canada government. And the website for Canada immigration is canada.ca. And then under canada.ca, you'll find IRCC. So this express entry is a system that works with points. It's point-based, so that they assess you according to your education. The higher you are educated, the more points you get. They also look at your age. The younger you are, the points you get. They also look at how many years of experience you have in your working area. The more the working years, the better. And if you have working experience in Canada, the better. So here we are saying that even somebody who is in Canada can as well use this express entry if they have, if they want to settle here finally, like legally. The other thing they look at is your marital status. Are you married? When you're single, you have got lesser points than someone who is married. Somebody who is married, they also count the spouses, English proficiency and education and all that. The other thing they assess is your level of English proficiency. That they mainly use IELTS for English for English speakers, and also for Francophone they also use TFT. So for that they also assess how you can well speak, fluent English, how you can listen, how you can read, and also how you can write. Those are the two basic points that they look at. So when they assess you under all these, you're required to have at least 430 to 450 thereabout. The list they take is usually 430. But most of the time, when there are so many people who have got more points, they also put a cutoff at 450. So it depends. Sometimes they'll even take somebody with 400, because if that draw, because all these applications go into a pool, it's like all of them go just the way the lottery does for US. But for ours, it's now under merit.
It's professionals.
It's for professionals. It's based on merit. So this pool, all the points go there. And then now from there, they pick the highest points. So sometimes you find that in the pool, there are no people who have more points. So that if you're lucky, you go into a pool that has got people with no many points, then you end up being selected. And then now that is how it works basically. But then after, if you cannot qualify for express entry, that is not the end of the world.
There are other ways.
Yeah, under this express entry, it has got 3 major classifications. The first one is skilled workers. Skilled workers are people with education, at least a degree and above. Skilled workers. The second one is technical people. Okay? Technical people, these are people with at least secondary education and some years of experience. Skills, this one is under skills. So that if you are a plumber, if you are an electrician, if you are a massage therapist, if you are a hairdresser, and you have got skills and you can prove them, then you fall under that class of technicals. Then the third one is Canada experience. Canada experience is now for somebody who has come to Canada either as a student, either as a visitor, or under any other
way you have arrived in Canada.
As long as you're in Canada, you're in that class. Now, when you're in that class, now you get a work permit, an open work permit, and then when you get Canada experience in a full-time job for 1 year to 2 years, you qualify to apply for express entry. Yeah, that's the summary of express entry.
Thank you, Faye. That is a very, very good summary. So I'm going to ask you some questions which I've been receiving from people about express entry.
Yes.
If I compare with the green card lottery, lottery is free of charge to apply, but once you win, you have to pay. So for the express entry, because it's not like you apply for free, kind of like a lottery first of all, then you qualify. But this one, you go to the pool to get those 400, 450 score, the one they're supposed to have. But what is the cost associated?
Oh, there are cost implications. Every program in Kenya has got its cost implications. The cost implications is based on how many members of the family you're bringing to Canada. So if you're coming as one person, that one is on the bank statement. First of all, you have to do a payment to the government, which is about 1,500 Canadian, average around there. Then once you apply that, and then every extra member of the family will also have to pay separately or to add to this. And then on top of that, they also ask you whether you have got a bank statement to sustain this family when you bring them to Canada. If you're coming alone, they need you like 10,000 bank statement, Canadian. If you're coming with an extra person, it goes to 12,000. If you're coming with another one, 15,000, like that, like that. So yes, there are cost implications. However, some programs, like when you have a job offer to come to Canada, you don't require a job. You don't require to prove
the job itself. It is
the job itself is going to stand in the place of a bank statement, because you're coming to have an income. So they don't require you to have a bank statement.
Before I go to ask about bank statement, I want to clarify to people that when you talk about Canadian dollar is exactly amount of US dollar. So people should not, how can I convert it? Is the dollar for dollar? So don't worry, it's just the same. Canadian dollar, US dollar is the same dollar. Kind of like $1, $1. Yeah. Bank statement. There are some people get confused about bank statement.
Yeah.
And for students, it might be different. I'm giving an example. Let's say people are coming to study. Some people, they can use the bank statement of their parents or bank statement of their friends or whatever. Is this bank statement must be on your name, or you can, let's say someone is 30 years old, bachelor degree with 3 years of whatever experience, and whatever the case has that experience. Can that person use the bank statement of himself plus the relative? Like, you know, in Africa, you can use your uncle or whatever, or it must be all in your bank statement with your name?
That's a very good question. And each program it depends, because like for students, you can use even for an uncle. An uncle can decide to sponsor you to come and study in Canada. Your organization that you're working for can decide to sponsor you and give you a bank statement. But for express entry and visitors visa, it has to be in your own account. And even if you are putting lump sum money, the Canada government needs to know where is this money coming from.
Exactly.
So you have to put a separate letter explaining that I sold a piece of land and I want to immigrate to Canada with my family. This is where this money is coming from. So it has to be in your own account.
The money you put it today, you put it today and you take out tomorrow the other way. They have to see it's not the money. Laundering,
and also that money you can, EBM, that money you cannot remove it during the process. If the process is going to take you 2 years, this money has to remain in your account, because anytime they can check. So it is a commitment. It is a commitment.
The only other way you can put it is to add more money.
You can only add, but you cannot reduce. If you reduce, you interfere with the process.
Yeah, because it might reduce. They say the max. I mean, you're supposed to have minimum maybe 20,000 because maybe you are married, and then the time they come to check, you have 17.
Yes.
There is someone who's 25. They put you away. They go continue with other people who qualify.
Yeah, and also let us say here that Canada immigration is not only for Africans, it's not for Kenyans, it's not for Tanzanians, because
even US citizens.
People have been telling me that, Joyce, you only help Kenyans. No. Canada immigration is for the entire world. This video should go to Asia, to South America, to North America. Even people in North America immigrate to Canada. People from the US, they want to come to Canada.
And so the majority of people in the US move to Canada, among other things. Is the issue of medical.
Medical, yes. Medical care is free.
So good in Canada.
Yeah.
But in the US is one among the worst medical, how expensive it is.
Yes.
So that's why many people, they move there, because the job and everything, it's easier to transfer in Canada.
Yeah.
And Canada and the US, lifestyle is almost the same.
It's the same.
It's just like
the weather is the same. The weather is the same. Everything is the same.
Yeah. So let's continue with the express entry. Another question with the express entry is, can a person, while he's still a student, apply? And I'm talking about, let's say someone finished bachelor degree, now is a master's student, or is a doctoral student. I know they are going to look about the points and everything.
Yes.
But do you need to graduate? Like, I understand if you apply express entry, let's say you must have a degree first, not you are studying for a degree. But let's say I finish my bachelor and now I'm doing my master's. Can I apply while I'm still a student?
This one depends on which occupation you're studying for. Some occupations in demand in some provinces require you to apply after you study for 1 year. After you study, you accumulate some hours for 1 year. Those are 2 semesters. They have got programs that you can apply for permanent resident as you study. And this was introduced during this COVID-19. Very few, like healthcare, IT. because they want students to start working because they have realized they are not getting enough immigrants. So they have opened that leeway. And this one has started during COVID-19. However, before that, they required you to graduate. And then once you graduate, they grant you a postgraduate work permit. And then this work permit, you work for 1 year as a student, post-student. 1 year is enough for you to apply for permanent resident.
Okay. You mentioned something about pandemic.
Yes.
With the pandemic, there are good and bad.
Yes.
One of the best part of the pandemic
is
there was a demand of certain types of jobs.
Yes.
And we know in Western countries, there are some people, even here in the US, don't want to go back to work because I can get money from the government assistance.
Yes.
Be safe at my home. So many companies have lost staff, and there are so many incentives for people to go to work. How does that apply to Canada, despite getting these to get nurses, to get engineers, to get medical professionals in general? But overall, how is going to demand more people to come to work in Canada?
Now, Canada has been hard hit by COVID, just like any other country. There's no single country in the world, even China, that has not been hit by this COVID-19. But every country is looking for ways of, trying to recover what they have lost during COVID-19. And Canada's one of the ways it's using to recover its resources. It's by allowing visitors to apply for jobs. And this job has to be LMIA. LMIA means that you have to look for an employer who has got permission to recruit a foreigner. That is what an LMIA means. So once you find such an employer, they give you a job offer, and then you can apply for a work permit. Once you apply for a work permit as a visitor, then you can work in Canada for 1 year, 2 years. You enter under Canada Experience, and then you can finally apply for Express and for permanent resident. That is one of the ways. Even the students, you can also convert a visitor's visa into a student nowadays. And this open has been extended up to 28th of February 2022. So we don't know whether the Minister of Immigration is going to extend after that. But for now, we are working with up to 2022, February 28th.
That's very, very good to hear that one. So people should just start applying. When we talk about applying, we'll talk about education or going to study in Canada and what are the benefits or the ways you can continue after that.
Yeah.
But when we talk about the programs or the points, we call the points-based immigration or rather merit-based immigration. We know for sure it's more objective process. That means if you have a degree, you have these points. But if someone has a degree in engineering and another one in political science, obviously the weight will be on high demanding job over the other down the road. Can you explain about what type of professions either they are in high demand or they get higher priority from the government in general versus the other? Because you'll get it, but your demand is not higher than the other one.
That's a very good question. And each province, Canada has got 12 provinces, including Quebec. And each province, Quebec is the province where they speak only French, mainly French, very few people that speak English. So in each province, they have something called occupations in demand. Occupations in demand is a list of the occupations that are in demand in that particular province. So I always advise even the students, when you're coming to study Canada, check the province where you're coming to study, whether the course that you're coming to study is an occupation in demand after you graduate. Because some courses will not be in demand after you graduate, so what? So every province has got occupations in demand, and there are so many, I cannot list all of them. But of course, we know healthcare is one of them. IT, teachers are in demand, especially in Ontario. So there's a list of long occupations which are in demand in every province. They are different.
Okay. What advice do you give the people who want to study once they arrive in Canada? Because in the end, I apply. I'm talking about the easier way to convert or faster way to convert to express entry or the demands. Like there are certain programs, like you are saying, that these jobs are in demands. But if someone today, I want to come to Canada myself, and down the road I want to get express entry, what will be the quicker way for me to study certain particular type of job so that it's in high demand? How do I know? Apart, do also schools do that, or just from the government, they're the one posting those on your provinces?
That is for the student.
Yeah.
For the student, when you're coming to Canada, you need to first of all find out the kind of institution that you're coming to study. It's not every institution that is allowed to accept international students.
Exactly.
So the institution has to be DLI. DLI means Designated Learning Institution. The government has given them authority or permission to, to train international students. So that is it. Yeah, you look at the designated learning institutions. You also need to look at whether what course are you studying? Is this course guaranteeing you a postgraduate work permit? It's not all the courses that are going to give you a postgraduate work permit. So you need to do your research, find out if the course that you're coming to study in Canada is going to give you postgraduate work permit. Because if your course is not giving you postgraduate work permit, and even your institution, then it means after you graduate, you have to go back.
You will not be able to, yeah.
You cannot remain here. You have to go back to your home country. So you have to be very careful. You need to know whether your college, whether the course is going to give you postgraduate work permit. Something else for international students is very, very important, that you consider the length of time that you need to come and study here in Canada. Because, for example, if you decide to pick on a program maybe for 1 year, and somebody else picks up on a course for 2 years, the one who has taken a course for 1 year, it means that after you graduate, you get a postgraduate work permit for another 1 year. And it means that during this 1 year that you are given permission to work, you'll have to minus around 3 months that you'll be waiting for this postgraduate work permit. So it means you have got less months to accumulate your Canada work experience. Then it means at the end of this 1 year, you'll be in Canada illegally because you will not have achieved your PR, your permanent resident. But when somebody who has taken a 2-year course program, after they graduate, they get up to 3 years postgraduate work permit. In 3 years' time, it's enough for you to apply for work permit, to get your PR, and to do all the things that you need to do. Something I would advise Africans, because sometimes we don't have enough banks. Remember, the longer the period of study, the longer the bank statement you're required. So some cases you find that people have got financial implications that are shortage. So in this case, you need to take 1 year program, but after you graduate, don't rush into going to work.
You go to another.
Renew the study permit, go another 1 year. So the first year, maybe, for example, you can study a course related to nursing, like personal support worker. That one is like a caregiver. And then the second year, you can do maybe something like something else, whatever you want, if it's business administration or whatever you want. But at least make sure that you have studied 2 years. That is very, very important.
Thank you so much. I know I'm asking this question because it's crazy when people, they ask this on the Green Card Lottery.
Yeah.
Will the U.S. Embassy or U.S. government give me the flight ticket or give me this one? So I'm asking the same question.
Yes.
When you get the express entry, are they going to give you any money or place to stay? Because that's people want to know.
Finally, after you get permanent resident,
when you apply, you are approved, whatever it is, you are coming to Canada. Do
yes.
they give you, okay, so you arrived here, this is your door, I mean, the key for your house, this is your house for free. Do they do that? Or anything the government gives you is cash-wise to facilitate you traveling?
No. That all that budget is on your shoulders. You don't get anything from Canada government for immigration. Until you come here, you're a permanent citizen. When you get a permanent resident status, you never lose it. That is one of the advantages. You will never lose it. Even if it expires, you remain a permanent resident until the day you decide to withdraw. Nobody will ever remove you from that.
Welcome to US, where permanent resident is not permanent, depending on
here it is permanent. Here it is permanent. No, you will never lose it unless you decide you want to do it. Like some people I know, they're outside Canada, it has expired, but they can never stop being permanent resident. Until then, they withdraw. The only challenge is that when they want to come here, somebody, the consular officer can decide just to make their lives hard, because they will come here now with maybe a travel document. And trying to apply for that travel document can be hard, because someone is going to ask you, why are you even interested in this thing in the first place? So unless you prove to them that you have good reasons why it expired when you were outside Canada, because for you to renew it, you need to live in Canada for 2 years without leaving the country for you to renew this permanent resident in case it expires. But I always advise people, when you get it, come stay here, be consistent, stay here for 3 years. You only need 3 years, and then you apply for citizenship. It's not like the US where you have to stay for 5-6 years. Here it is only for 3 years you apply for your citizenship.
Yeah, thank you so much for clarifying that one.